So were you scared at first going on your own?
Of course, I was scared. What matters is what you do with it, what you do with that fear.
Someone who's listening right now, they're wanting to start a business. What is your advice?
I kept things very lean. Not every contract is worth the energy. When it's your name on the door, the pressure is different. You're starting, you need to treat your business as a business. I would still recommend to always get clear on your financial runway. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it really comes. One day you land the client, the next day you question everything. I mean, you remind yourself why you started it. And this mindset helps me shift to build a business that is both impactful and financially viable. As I said, value, value, value.
Hey Najwa, welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you. And thank you for inviting me and having me on your podcast.
Hey, listen, I wanted to start with a brief introduction about yourself so our listeners can understand what you do and what's your business.
So I'm Najwa El Iraki. I'm the founder and managing partner of Africa Dev Consulting. It's a business development and investment advisory firm operating across Morocco, the UK, and UAE. We basically help companies, investors, and financial institutions grow and expand across Africa.
Why Africa?
So, well, basically, initially, I used to work in, as I said, in London in EMEA markets, so not necessarily Africa. I was mainly looking after European markets and US and UK. But then when I got invited to join this project Casa Finance City, the goal was to basically have Morocco on the regional map as a financial hub for the continents. Morocco has early on, the vision of His Majesty was for Morocco to be the door for the African continent. The African continent is full of opportunities.
Did you quit your 9 to 5 and started this consulting?
Well, no, I was actually working in a structured environment. My time at Casa Finance City, even though it was a public-private project, it felt very entrepreneurial. I was one of the first employees as part of a small team. I basically had to build everything from scratch. But I still was practical. I mean, before my leaving my job, I kind of secured my first potential project. I didn't sign it. And my first potential project was actually someone I had already worked with. And but I only signed like after I resigned and then I went to Australia for a month going around Melbourne, Sydney, Byron Bay, Gold Coast, etc. And then I came back and then I signed. But that still kind of, gave me a psychological cushion.
So were you scared at first going on your own?
Of course, I was scared. I mean, as I explained, when you come from all these kind of structured corporate well-structured environments, it's always scary. What helped me was having a strong sense of purpose. I was not just living to do my own thing, but I had a clear vision. I wanted to create a platform that had unlock Africa's potential. That clarity became my anchor during my moments of doubts. I realized that everyone feels it. And what matters is what you do with it, what you do with that fear. In school, we were taught to follow structure, to be excellent employees, not necessarily entrepreneurs. But then when I realized that entrepreneurship didn't mean cow, it meant freedom, alignment, and possibility, I started to enjoy it. And I'm still learning every day.
How did you manage funds when you started this business?
So when it comes to money, I guess that's what it comes to. It can be both a practical and emotional challenge when you're starting out. Early on, I kept things very lean, no big overheads, no team right away, just me and a focus on doing quality work. I made sure that every euro, pound, or dirham I spent was tied to revenue generating activity. I reinvested carefully and looked for different income streams. So while business development consulting was my core offer. I also did regulatory work, recruitment, public speaking, and project-based advisory. And that helped me with cash flow because business development income is not always predictable. You have to manage contract, payment cycle, and sometimes long sales timeline. So another aspect I'd say is mindset. I learned to price based on the impact I created, not the time I spent. Once I owned my word, things changed. Clients also respect you more. And finally, I learned to say no to the wrong project. Not every contract is worth the energy. I'll be honest. Personally, the biggest challenge was not financial; it was mental.
Right.
When things started going well, I had to ask myself, do I want to scale quickly and take on further risk? It's not easy, but hiring even more people, managing a larger team, it's a big commitment. And when it's your name on the door, the pressure is different. You're not just managing for performance, like in a company. You're managing your own energy, your well-being, your reputation. I've been growing sustainably. I also collaborate with other consultants and specialists depending on the project. I don't just try to get the project to somewhere. I think it's very important to, in a way, to be aligned with your own values. Personally, I absolutely love what I do. I love building relationship, doing the matchmaking, closing deals. So I push myself within that zone of passion always.
How long did it take for you to see the profit coming in?
So there were different phases because in the beginning I didn't have like big overheads in the beginning. So I kind of was already at equilibrium. I was already at equilibrium. It was easy. I decided to take on more staff to scale a little, and this is where I started having kind of more fixed charges. This is where I actually started. So once I took confidence by being break-even, I started scaling up and then just taking on projects so I can build references, because you need to build your references before being comfortable. So it's a lot of, and you also, you learn by, as I said, by trial and error. Yeah. And then after, I guess maybe after 2 years, then I started kind of seeing like a profit. And this is where I started diversifying even countries. Started in Morocco, then diversified into like UK, and then UAE now as well. I would still recommend to always get clear on your financial runway. How many months of expenses you can cover if you have zero income, because in a way that gives you a realistic sense of your margin for risks and helps you plan accordingly. You're starting, you need to treat your business as a business and make sure that you track your income and expenses, and that helps you in a way make better decisions and show professionalism. Especially when coming from employment, it can be hard to quantify your value. So if you're pricing based on time or emotion instead of value, and the market benchmark, you're actually setting yourself for burnout. And this mindset helps me shift to build a business that is both impactful and financially viable.
Someone who's listening right now, they're wanting to start a business. What is your advice of how long they should wait before they see the profit, and how they should manage times where things are not going in the right direction?
So I would say the questions maybe to start asking yourself, is this side hustle solving a real problem? As I say, do you have clarity on who is it for? How will you reach to them? How will you deliver value? As I said, value, very important. Second, build traction and momentum while you still have maybe the security of a job. Maybe try to land one or two good paying clients, see how it feels, get feedback, adjust your offer, because that experience will either give you confidence or reveal where you need to work on more. So in other words, test. Don't wait for the perfect moments, because it really comes. Surround yourself with the right people. As I said, I was speaking to entrepreneurs, listening to different stories. We have the chance today of having so many access to so many free material online. So entrepreneurship can be lonely, but it doesn't have to be. Also, if you build the right network is very important. And I had a chance to build my network through the confidence confidence I learned in my previous job when I was working. Funny enough, when I was in the big structure, I didn't build as much confidence as I was in that project, because that project I was in a way counting on myself. People have to do that, so, so don't wait, as I said, just go for it. And of course, be financially smart. I know we spoke about finances earlier. So I always say have a clear budget and maybe at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses saved up. And that buffer gives you mental space to grow without panic. Last but not least, I guess it's important to protect your mindset. The first year of going solo is full of emotional up and downs. One day you land a client, the next day you question everything. Keep your vision close. It's very important. You remind yourself why you started it.
Are you saying no to wrong projects, or are you saying no to wrong stakeholders?
Of course, you need to do your KYC because it's your reputation at the end of the day. And it's happened to me in the beginning where I didn't do my KYC. Well, I didn't do it properly. I always do it.
KYC is just for listeners' benefit. It's know your customer or know your client.
Yes, know your customer. Yeah, know your client. It's very important. For me, reputation is number one. People today come to me a lot for that. You have to be passionate about the projects in order to be able to keep up. And then if you have doubts on either the reputation of the clients or the projects is not something which is interesting on, you think it's not something where you'll be 100% you and your staff, because it's a team at the end of the day, you're working as a team, then say no. I had I had a unique ability to create trust between people, and that in a way became a key differentiator. I could sit in a boardroom in Dubai, then the next day be on a call with the regulator in Paris or a family office in London, and translate between these words, culturally, financially, and strategically. So based on these insights, I intentionally positioned Africa Dev not just as a consulting firm, where you have revenue, regular kind of revenue, but as a trusted connector.
You are in a sustainable state. You have your team, you have your projects lined up. Are you happy with the consulting firm business right now you have, or are you planning to expand in other, or you planning to invest in other portfolios of business as well?
My goal, and the vision since I left employment, is to be financial freedom. Right. In a way, because financial freedom gives you emotional, psychological freedom and all of that. So I'm not looking to scale more my current business just because, as I said, it aligns with my value. I don't want to take on more risks for this business, even though I could. And I had opportunities. I had companies calling me to join them as a partner and sell part of my business to them and bring them my portfolio of business. But it's not something which right now I want to do. I want to keep that. And then from a personal, as I said, business and personal finances. So from a personal point of view, this is where I want to, this is where I am investing more personally. Diversifying income. It could be, stock exchange, real estate, and so on. Cool. So that's what I'm doing and what I'm doing.
You still have plans then. Okay.
Yes.
Lined up. Okay, great. That's nice. If you have to start everything from scratch, what would you do differently?
I don't think I would do anything differently because you learn by doing those mistakes. I know some people are very organized. They have their business plan from scratch. I adjusted everything as it went along. And even though maybe I would have invested more in tools or system, like something which I haven't done early on, that I'm just starting to look at because of AI and because so maybe automating my invoices, my scheduling from because it's a lot of time and mental energy, which is priceless in the early days. What I would say, the goal is always to free your time so you can focus on high impact activities like business development, strategy, and client work. So not to stay doing all the small tasks. And maybe in the beginning when I was starting, I was going a lot into all those details. But otherwise, apart from this small detail, All the rest, I would have done it the same. So starting on my own, then hiring the team. I had to go through those steps because I didn't necessarily know my worth from the beginning. I didn't necessarily have the network I have today. I had a network already, but not the same as the one I have today. Not as strategic as as specific as the one I have today.
Someone who's listening right now, who is working 9 to 5 and they have a fantastic idea, they want to start a business. What are your 3 tips that you would like to share to them?
Like solving a real problem, as I said, which is very important. Be passionate about what you do, and also find your niche markets. I started with financial services, because this is where my background was, and I've been working in these funds, banking, insurance for a while. So I focused on that. So build credibility in something where, were very important. And so yeah, one of my early that was with an African private equity firm looking to source deals and raise funds from family offices, and that was right in my sweet spot. And over time, I expanded my client base to include fintechs and family offices and government institutions. I even advised the international financial centers and so on. Don't try in a way to be everything to everyone. Focus on where you can truly create value, and that's where your early good clients will come from. And once you've built the trust and delivered results, once you have your reference, expansion happens naturally. As everyone says, entrepreneurship is a journey, right? It's not a destination. It's not always linear. You'll pivot. You'll have dry spells. You'll have breakthroughs, and that's part of the game. But at the end of the day, if you're passionate, if you're curious, if you're willing to learn, then take the leap. The growth you'll experience, and I'm seeing this with all my confidence and passion. What you will experience both professionally and personally is really unlike anything else.
How can someone who's listening want to connect with you? What's the best way?
Sure, I'm available on LinkedIn. You can you can tag me, and I'm very reactive on LinkedIn. I think that's the best way to reach me. Always willing to help, to share feedback. I've been working both with the international companies, but also with the startups, helping them fundraise, or I've been part of the Obama Foundation as well, which helps new entrepreneurs and give them grants. So I have experience in that. So more than happy to assist and help.
Perfect. Hey, Najwa, thank you so much. This was a fantastic interview.
Thank you.
And wishing all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Bala. And then thank you for having me today.